Zap 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 Lightning. Zap Zap Lightning. Lightning.
Hello everybody, it's me, the LEGO Dude, and in today's video I'll be placing every LEGO Star Wars set released in 2001 from worst to best. 2001 had the least new sets of any year of LEGO Star Wars, with only 10, but even so, several of them are surprisingly good. Kicking things off in 10th place as the worst set of 2001, we have the 8007 C-3PO Technic Buildable Character. It released on January 1st, 2001 for $35 with 341 pieces and retired on December 31st, 2002. This set falls onto the relatively short list of LEGO Star Wars sets which are completely atrocious. The build is supposed to be of a normal C-3PO, but it unintentionally looks a lot more like the skeletal droid structure Anakin Skywalker made in The Phantom Menace. As the normal C-3PO that it's supposed to be though, it completely fails. The design is incredibly rough with a blocky skeletal structure throughout and poor detailing. The torso in particular is not good at all, with 4 random panel-like pieces used to poorly cover up the interior Technic, which includes red and blue Technic pieces sticking out. The head as well doesn't even at least look creepy, it's just bad. Credit has to be given for the accurate silver leg, but that's about the only positive here. Next up in 9th place we have the 8008 Stormtrooper Technic Buildable Character. It released on January 1st, 2001 for $35 with 361 pieces and retired on December 31st, 2002. To its credit, the colors are completely accurate, the box art is phenomenal, and it has a hilarious and a good way oversized blaster, but that's where the positives mostly stop. It, similarly to the C-3PO, has a poor design with the same blocky poor detailing throughout. It is a bit more hidden here though, with the consistent colors covering it up. Somehow LEGO took a step back with these after the 2000 Technic sets, which looking back were actually mostly good. The drop off in quality is probably why the line of Technic Star Wars sets was cancelled shortly after 2001. Next up in 8th place we have the 7127 Imperial AT-ST. It released on January 1st, 2001 for $10 with 107 pieces and retired on December 31st, 2002. For $10 it has a solid build structure and a nice Chewbacca minifigure, but otherwise the build design is absolutely horrendous. It's blocky to an absurd degree and has the same wacky color scheme as most of the other LEGO Star Wars sets from this era. The main head section just looks ridiculous and not in a good way, and the 1x1 scaled eyes seal its spot near the bottom of the list. Moving on to the first actually okay set, in 7th place we have the 7146 TIE Fighter. It released on January 1st, 2001 for $20 with 171 pieces and retired on December 31st, 2002. It has a very poor build with a bad connection between the wings and body and is also incredibly blocky, however I don't think it's horrible. Personally, I like the blue stripe design going on the wings, and the pilot's area is also nicely designed. The minifigures are also half decent, but structurally it's just too blocky and too weak of a build to be higher than 7th. Moving on to the first actually decent set, in 6th place we have the 7106 Droid Escape. It released on January 1st, 2001 for $6 with 45 pieces and retired on December 31st, 2001. There's not too much to say about it, but it accomplishes its goal of what it's supposed to be. It's small, inexpensive, accurate to the scene it's based off, has a nice build, and has 2 scene accurate decent minifigures. Rolling on to 5th place now, we have the 7186 Rotto's Junkyard. It released on January 1st, 2001 for $50 with 443 pieces and retired on December 31st, 2001. It has a cool old school Watto minifigure with no printing and the only version of Aldor Beto that we've ever had. The 2 speeder builds look cartoonish in a sense, however with how all over the place LEGO Star Wars started off as, this works to its advantage. The builds, while cartoonish, both look genuinely good, with a large amount of blocky pieces not being as noticeable as they would have been if LEGO tried to make these normal scaled. In particular, the blue pod racer has hilarious giant front sections with large double engines which look cool. It's overall surprisingly good and for the time is a solid set. Going on to 4th place now, we have the 7166 Imperial Shuttle. It released on January 1st, 2001 for $35 with 238 pieces and retired on December 31st, 2002. This is the first version we had of the iconic Imperial Shuttle, and although we've had much better versions since then, this first version was amazing for its time. The pilot is a decent minifigure and the 2 royal guards look outstanding for 2001. Palpatine just looks hilarious, so we'll just not put that against or for the set. The actual build for the time looks phenomenal, bar some random gray coloring. The biggest design issue isn't the colors though, it's that the top wing has no type of Technic connection, so picking it up from there as would probably be natural as a 50-50 on if it falls and breaks or is fine. The other 2 wings are designed very well with hinges features on Technic pieces, allowing them to be landed or in flight mode. The front pilot's area has amazing printing on the windshield and enough space inside to fit 1 or 2 minifigures, which you can access by removing the windshield. To access the main interior, you pull down the back, which is a smooth hinge piece, and you can pull out the interior to put Palpatine and the Royal Guard minifigures in. It's not the best of 2001, but is still good for its time. Onto the podium now. In third place, we have the 10018 Darth Maul. It released on October 29th, 2001 for $150 with 1,868 pieces and retired on December 31st, 2002. It has a surprisingly amazing build for the time and is uniquely the only UCS size set we've ever seen in LEGO Star Wars that is a bust. It has amazing face detailing with all of Darth Maul's face patterns and his Sith eyes, and the shoulders are designed well, humorously hiding a stand holding up the whole set. However, this set really just feels like a sort of niche one-off. You either really like it and want it, or think it's cool but don't really care about actually getting it. I can't put it any higher because of that, but it still is amazing. Moving on to second now, we have the 7126 Droid Carrier. It released on January 1st, 2001 for $10 with 133 pieces and retired on December 31st, 2001. Although the build is completely original and has never been in any Star Wars media, this set had such a positive reception that they've released 3 or 4 different versions of it, most recently in 2024. The build itself looks fine and is pretty iconic these days, but the main draw here was the 7 battle droids in a $10 set. This was insane to get in a $10 set both then and now, and made it possible to easily acquire at least a 7 droid army to fight the protagonists. If they released a $10 version of the Droid Carrier today, I have no doubt it would receive an overly positive reaction, especially with the 7 droids included. I don't want to put it at the very top since the build really isn't that good here, but it had a large effect on LEGO Star Wars that still lingers today. It was probably the precursor to battle packs, which in and of itself deserves praise. Moving on to the best set from 2001 now, we have the 10019 Rebel Blockade Runner. It released on November 5th, 2001 for $200 with 1,747 pieces and retired on December 31st, 2003. As the UCS set for the year, it was the only set from 2001 with an insane amount of detailing, and it does look very good. In particular, the front section is decently scaled, being smaller than the back but not tiny either, which was the hilarious scaling we saw in the 2024 version. It has no play features as usual on UCS sets, but the design is great with surprisingly well-built brick-built details, with the main example being the head section held together with rubber bands and the section in front of the engines. The engines are hilariously mega jumbo sized and are very well detailed. Overall, it's a phenomenally designed LEGO set, and for the year 2001, it was by far the best. Alright everyone, that is everything for today's video. Tell me your thoughts on these 2001 LEGO sets in the comment section down below. Which parts of the list do you agree with? Which parts do you disagree with? What order would your list be in? And one last thing before you leave, please remember to hit the subscribe button, ring the notifications bell, and leave a like on the video. Bye!